long time no iPhone vlog. I wanted to pick up the phone today and record because today I'm doing something for the first time, which is meeting with someone from my community that's here from Europe. He came for the meetup a couple of weeks ago and he's still here. He was getting the whole American experience, traveling around, all that stuff. But him and I are gonna grab dinner later this evening. So I just wanna take you through the day. I do have like some agency calls in a bit, and then I have some community member calls, a good amount of community member calls. But Luka's the boy. He's been in the community for maybe a year and a half now. I think he just graduated college, was closing throughout college, got his girlfriend into the space. She started ripping 15K months. And so now he's here. I don't know if she's here, but he's here. He's here because he was able to make money remote closing from Croatia while a full-time student. And that's just awesome. So first time I'm getting to connect with someone one-on-one that is not from the States, that is in the community, that's been able to get the result. And so I'm gonna take you along for it, but gonna go get some coffee really quick before we start the day, a little Monday ritual. And then we're gonna jump into these meetings. We'll walk in to the shower. This is the day today. We got a catch-up call, management sync for our agency, then we've got a client meeting, and then sales team meeting, and then 4 community member calls, and then dinner with Luka.
Or is she already tracking stuff? Because if she's tracking stuff, then she's not.
Also going to Tampa next week for the Client Ascension event with some of the boys. Business partner Cole, not a sponsored post, but yeah, gonna be filming content there. Should be a good time. I just hired on yesterday, full-time videographer, the boy Tony. So the iPhone stuff is gonna go away and the real content is on its way. Tony might come out to Tampa, still undecided, but he's moving to Austin pretty much right after the Tampa event. So if you can make it, we'll get some good content. If not, we're gonna get the good content afterwards. Came to the lock-in spot on the water, the go-to. Just gonna sit here, grind out some work, but I want to talk about this for the sales reps. So in my community, I work with every single sales rep to come in and redo their resume, because the resume is an asset that 99% of people don't have a good one in this high ticket space. So we do that for people. And the biggest thing that I see people not do, and the reason why they have difficulty landing interviews for good roles and that kind of thing, is because the results that they might have from another industry are not being translated effectively into this industry that they're looking to join. Example, I work with a lot of people that come from real estate. If you say in 2024, I closed $3.5 million in real estate, like that's what your resume says. It says 3.5 million closed, responsible for negotiating contracts, this like job description type stuff, generated my own leads, worked with sellers, worked with buyers and sellers in an efficient manner. That's all bullshit. Like it doesn't actually hold any substance. If you want your resume to be taken seriously despite any industry, as long as it was like a customer facing role, you need to have numbers that create context for anybody, even an elementary school student, so they understand how you actually made an impact in that company. So if you said, I sold 3.5 million in real estate, putting me in the top 5 agents out of 30 in our office in the 2024 season with a 22% production increase from the year prior, just like giving context over the whole picture. So that way, regardless if the numbers are way different than high ticket or not, they understand that, oh shoot, like John makes a tangible difference on this sales team, in this sales organization. Like if you come from car sales, for example, let's just say I sold 13 cars a month, like 13 cars a month, like cool, is that good? Is that bad? Are you about to get fired because of that? Are you about to get promoted? So like 13 cars per month, where the average agent sold 7 cars per month and I sold 13 for 12 months straight. Like obviously you're the shit, right? So usually I like to do like 3 or 4 bullet points per experience, and then each bullet point very short, but if you can pack 2 or 3 pieces of data that give context around the main point that you're trying to show, which maybe it's revenue, close rate, team performance, meeting quota, whatever, then you're gonna just get a lot more traction on your resume, on your applications. And with coming into the community, we work a lot on like the go-to-market strategy for these sales reps and from other industries. And that is quite literally the difference in you applying to 50 jobs and getting 8 interviews and applying to 50 jobs and getting 18 interviews, right? And then you go down the funnel even more, that translates to more job offers on the back end. A resume is super, super, super low-hanging fruit in this industry because the industry is full of a lot of kids that have no professional experience. So if you do have any sort of like measurable experience, it's really easy for you to get in as long as you have proximity to the opportunities, the openings, all that stuff. But anyways, I'm gonna do some deep work now and then catch up with you guys a little bit later. We hired a bookkeeper that's getting all our numbers together, getting us all this cool stuff. You can see pretty consistently, like we started this new bank account and then started collecting a lot of commissions. So in 4 months, done 1.5 up until September, which is just crazy to think about. It's like a lot of hours later, done the calls, starving, gonna go scoop that boy, Luka. Hopefully we do not have much more work to do today. Look at that man, all the way from Croatia.
Okay.
All right,
so
Luka blessed me with some Croatian goodies. What are these, Luka?
cookies from my hometown.
Okay.
Then I got some chocolate staple in Croatia.
Okay.
And for this, you can open it. I'll film you. Give me
Okay.
a sec. I was thinking what to get a man that has everything, you know? So we'll see.
Oh shoot, cereal sales pen. I don't have one of these. This is sick. Dude,
So there you go.
I'm gonna
Gotta
use it
sign the deals, you know?
for signing deals.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you.
No worries.
Having an Austin meal, something light, little phrases, how to treat the boy. Propped up, super sketchy, but what do you rate the dinner? 1 through 10?
I'm gonna give it a solid 8. 8.
Nah, that's crazy. I'll give you like a 7. It was good. Out of all the places I could take you, I took you there. Good environment, mocktails.
Yeah.
But anyways, so Luka here, you're heading back to Croatia when?
This Friday.
Okay.
So 4 days.
So flew over here to kind of do the whole meetup thing and meet some people and experience America and all that stuff. Is this your first time here?
Yeah. First time in the States.
What do you think of it? US?
US in total, I'll say I like it. It's good. Land of the opportunity, you know. So I like it. It's, I mean, I'm a bit biased with Europe, you know, but I still like it. I mean, it's, I would say a lot different to Europe in a certain way. Definitely dipping, you know, not used to it, but it is what it is. But it's, I don't know, more open to opportunities, I would say. Just people in general are more open. So I would say if you have a good business idea or anything, you could definitely maybe push it easier in the States rather than in Europe, or at least where I'm from, you know. So
Yeah. What's your least favorite thing about the US so far?
chicken. We talked about chicken, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'll say it's might not be the hot take, but I'll just say, you know, Europe takes a point on food. Definitely, I'll say that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that would be my least favorite thing. Yeah.
Okay. I won't roast you too hard for that one. I've heard the same. I haven't been to Europe yet.
Yeah.
So hopefully next year at the Croatia meetup.
Croatian meetup. Okay, yeah.
All right, so now talking about the meetup that we had, this was like maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
The high ticket sales meetup had a bunch of people come in, more guys than you that came from Europe, kind of all over. What was the take? How was it?
Okay, so it was I would say it was my first meetup, like an online biz meetup. You know, most of the meetups I was at before this was just mostly people in sales, but it was traditional sales. But compared to like this one, it was better because everyone is on the same page. Like, you're not telling people, oh, I'm in this, and oh, like, what is this? So like, you know, how does this work? But it's mostly, oh, you're working with this company. Oh, I heard about them, you know. And everyone knows, I would say, the whole concept, right? So you don't have to constantly explain in terms of concepts, but you can go into detail with these people in terms of like, oh, you have, you know, this trick or this tip that works for you. Okay, I'll try it on my offer. And then it was just, you know, it was interesting to see a lot of people doing the same thing as me, especially in Croatia. It's not really common, right? So it was really good to just, I would say, remove the imposter syndrome in a way, you know, because I feel like a lot of people maybe deal with that. Maybe in the States, not so much, but I would say other people in Europe, or especially me, I would say, kind of deal with that.
It makes it a lot more real when you meet people in real life.
Yeah.
Obviously, you and I have known each other for how long now? Like maybe almost 2 years?
Yeah. I think it's like almost 2 years now.
And I mean, I feel like I know you pretty well just from the online stuff.
Yeah.
This is our first time meeting. Well, this weekend or the high ticket meetup was the first time meeting in real life. And then we connected today just for dinner. But like, there's a lot of those guys that through the community, it's just like I feel like I already know them.
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much.
yeah.
Same. I'm sure you know a bunch of guys that like
Yeah,
you
for sure.
recognize.
Yeah.
So overall, how many miles is it from Croatia to here?
Actually, we would have to Google, but yeah, you cross the, well, we call it the barn, like the Atlantic Ocean. So you cross the barn.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting. But it was like 15 hours to get here.
15 hours, was the ROI worth it?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
For sure.
Cool. All right. Well, then let's talk about like remote sales a little bit, because I know, I mean, people are watching this. They're probably considering it, or they're already in it. But talk about your experience a little bit, like being in this space, and you have a good perspective because like you just got out of school,
Yeah.
university. You were doing, you said computer science.
Computer science, yeah.
Just out of university, you were taking, well, like you've done setting, closing, all different stuff. You got your girlfriend into it.
Yeah.
She crushes it. So yeah, talk about like your experience in just like the remote sales space.
Okay, so when I first started, because I would assume like maybe a big percentage of people that are gonna be watching this are gonna be in that starting phase. And what I would say is, like when I first started, I didn't have any experience, almost no working experience. Anything that I worked on was just mostly crypto and NFTs, like community management.
Yeah.
So from that side of things, yeah, I was talking to people, etc., or dealing with people. But when I first started, I think it was maybe a month or 2 months, just me reaching out, and it was like actively reaching out daily, like to people, hey, you know, I'm doing this, hey, you know, I have experience in this. And it was, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, in those 2 months, it never kind of felt like, oh, this is not gonna work out, just because like it's legit. It's not any kind of, oh, you know, I mean, not even e-com is like scammy or something, but like at the end of the day, it's literally, you're just working for a company or for someone. It's legit, and at the end of the day, it's just a numbers game, right? So you have to reach out in the beginning. That's how it's gonna be most of the time, right? If you don't have any experience. But once you push through that, I would say the first role, and if it's actually a good one, I was lucky enough to jump on a role that was actually a really good one, a quality one, and we then built it up from like 0 to like 300K a month. And that kind of gave me experience, and then it's just, I would say, like a chain reaction in terms of like, oh, you network with other people.
Yeah.
And it's, again, you can join the meetups. And then after that, I mean, I'm making more than like average in Croatia.
Yeah.
I'll say that. I'm not sure who's watching, but it's pretty much just, you know, it's way better. You have the freedom. I would say I'm privileged enough to, like, I haven't worked in a regular 9 to 5 because, again, as Dylan said, I just got out of college, right? So I'm not sure what the whole hassle is with going into office and stuff like that, you know. My standard is just literally online work, which I would say, you know, I'm privileged, you know, or we're privileged, you know. But it's, you know, if you're thinking about it, I would say go for it. I think I've heard one quote or read it somewhere where it's like, it's not even the thing about like, oh, you know, oh, is this legit or is this not legit, etc. It's just like, will I make it work or I won't at the end of the day, right? So like, if you're thinking about this, just remember that you're gonna have to like put in the work. It's not all, you know, sunshine and rainbows, but at the end of the day, when you put in the work, it's just, it just pays off tremendously. So
yeah, I mean, my whole mentality, even now, but also like coming into it, was I was seeing it happen in real life. Like I was seeing other people get the results, and like if you're on my YouTube, maybe you've seen like interviews with people, but I was just like, dude, if these people can do it, then why the hell can't I do it, you know? And I was like, unless this is just completely made up, which like, you get to a point of research where you're like, okay, this just isn't made up, right?
It can't be made
then it's
up,
like, then it's a me thing. Like if I'm not making it happen, it's a me thing. Then like, who do I need to know? What do I need to get in front of? Who do I need to talk to? It just becomes like putting the puzzle together. But I forgot, dude, that you came into this with like literally no working history.
Yeah, it was literally no.
Not in the US. You're a young dude in university. which is probably one of the hardest positions to get into this from.
Could be,
But it's worth it because now you're earning in
Oh, yeah,
US,
for sure.
and you just showed me a 700 a month freaking
Yeah.
pad. So like we're talking about places here in Austin versus what's the city?
Croatia. Zagreb.
Zagreb.
The capital, yeah.
So 700 a month there, you can live like a king in the capital.
Pretty much, yeah.
And that same one here in Austin would be, depends where exactly, but it'd be a lot.
A lot more, yeah. Definitely.
But
so like, yeah, I mean, I would say it's just, it's a good bet to take, but at the end of the day, you're not betting on anything other than yourself, and I think that, I mean, look, you just have to, as I said, like, you just have to push until you get that good role, and that's the only thing that once you get that, I wouldn't say it's game over. It pretty much, that's where the game begins in terms of now you have to put in the work and actually make it worth it. But again, like the meetup was really, really cool because I've heard a lot of good things, and also one of the things was that, like, I think it was Ryan from Close and Paid guys. I think he said, like, you know, people would get on a good opportunity, but then they would get laid off from that opportunity. So like, I would say, again, don't kid yourself into thinking that, oh, you know, I'm doing the outreach to get the job and then it's all sunshine and rainbows. No, it's different. Like, we pulled, like, my girlfriend and I, we pulled big months, but it was a ton of work. But it just pays off. I feel like with sales, remote sales in general, whatever position you are in life, be it that you have a family, you're just a young buck like us, you know, you can make it work. So if you want to hustle, you'll have offers that are literally gonna push you to work 24/7. If that's your deal, go for it. You're gonna make a shit ton of money if it's a good offer, right? Well, have to make it PG, a ton of money. But if you have a family, you want to work the 9 to 5, but in the remote space, like just pretty much remote, you can do that as well. You just have to, again, find something that suits you, but once you find it, just make sure you work at the end of the day. I mean, that's it.
I don't think anyone, like, if you're looking for stability and like the easy way where you just do enough to get by and you get paid, like 1090, like not even just remote sales, but just like 1099 contracted sales is just probably not the route for you. Because there's always going to be down months, even when you're making 20, 30K a month, and then you drop down to 10, it's like your world is falling apart, right?
That is
so true. Like, there's always going to be variable months, and that's why you need to be smart and manage your money well, but also manage your expectations. It helps when you earn in USD and live in Croatia.
Or anywhere else aside of US. I mean, as Dylan said, like, you know, it's gonna take some work, but you can make a ton of money. And I think, you know, if you're young, and I'm not sure about the States, but if you're like thinking into, and I'm not saying it's bad, but if you're thinking about getting into college for an art degree or anything like that, I'd rather recommend sales. You know, not that I'm shitting on it, again, trying to keep it PG, but you might as well just get into sales and then make art on the side or whatever. But I'm looking at remote sales for myself. It's just some kind of a catapult, if you want to say it like that, that just sets me up, gets me the money, and then I can go into other things, as be it whatever, starting my own business or investing into something, or just, you know, whatever you want to do with your money. But at the end of the day, as Dylan said, you kind of have to be smart about your money to make this work in the long run. But it's a good vehicle, a really good vehicle, that is for sure.
Yeah, man, I mean, you only have to get a lot of money once, and then you just got to be smart with it, right? True. If you're in a position to play offense and you don't have really much to lose and everything to gain, like, remote sales is probably one of the better vehicles. The low startup costs. You literally just need time and the ability to speak and meet with people.
You can even work on that, even if you don't have that. You can work on it. Like, literally just, if you join the community, there's going to be guys that are in the same position as you, so you can role play with them. That helped me out a lot in the beginning, because again, came from, I wouldn't say came from nothing, but literally zero experience, right? Or working experience, somewhat to say. So like you're gonna have people that are willing to help, and I think that's again a bit different in our industry as remote sales, just because like everyone is willing to help each other. Like it's a, at the end of the day, it is a networking game, right? But I feel like it's just genuine relationships, and then out of those genuine relationships comes something.
Yeah.
I mean, just, you know, opportunities, but then you obviously meet friends for, you know, if you want to say it, for life, right? Also at the meetup, met a ton of people that I've worked with as well, right? The BM boys, you know. So it's pretty much, it was nice to see them. So yeah, at the end of the day, as Dylan said, it's a good vehicle.
Yeah.
And you just need to put in the work at the end of the day, and you can master it. That's my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. What about, so I was thinking about it like when we first partnered up to work together, and you and I worked together before the community was even like anything close to what it is today. I think when you and I partnered up together, the community was like a low ticket subscription.
There was on Slack.
Yeah. It was more of like a lot of people and lower quality, whereas now it's less people, higher quality, more one-on-one stuff.
Yeah.
But I was gonna ask you, so like you saw it be the low ticket thing, and then you saw it turn into the high ticket, and you know, you're obviously doing your own stuff now. You're Mr. Worldwide right now, so you're not in there like every day, but like right now, like at this current iteration of the community, or like maybe past one or two, like what are some things in there that you found to be like really valuable for you?
Okay, so I'll say this. Okay, so in the community, there are people that are a few steps ahead of you, and I think those are the kind of people that you need to like network with, or just connect yourself with, in terms of, again, like if you're just starting out, you're not going to ask a billionaire about a device, because like he's probably not going to remember what he did 20-30 years ago, whatever, right? But if your aim or your goal is to get to like 10K a month, which is like, I don't know, became like a thing on Money Twitter, like the holy grail, but let's say 10K a month, right? I would say it's simple to do, right? I use the word simple rather than easy, just in terms of like, you know how to get there, and you're gonna have guys in the community that are way past that, but you're gonna have guys that are around that number, right? So you can easily get them to be like, hey, how'd you get from like maybe 0 to 5? They're gonna know how to, you know, like how they did that, because they still remember, right?
Yeah.
So that is one thing. You have a ton of people in a ton of different positions, and you can just learn from them. And as Vance said, shout out to Vance, we were talking about a different topic on the boat when we were at the meetup, but he said like you have to look at every single opportunity or every single job as a ladder, right? So you would have, this is a ladder pretty much, and you would jump one job would be one thing, and you're climbing towards that goal, right? So same thing with people, like as you jump the ladder, as you go up the ladder, you're going to have people to consult with, or just network with and ask for advice. So like if you're at 5K, you're going to have people that you can talk to about getting to 10K. If you're at 10K, you're going to talk with people that are 20, 30, whatever, right? So that is one thing. Like you have a vast majority of people that are willing to help you, and no matter what position you're in, even if you're like starting out. Like, don't get me wrong, people that are at 30K are gonna still link up with you if you're like at 0, right?
Yeah.
But it's gonna be easier to kind of climb up the ladder a bit, in steps, I would say.
Yeah.
So that is one thing. Again, like then it's just the caliber of different people that are in the community with like different life experiences. So like you're gonna hear a ton of different stories, a ton of cool stories. You're gonna meet a ton of new people. And I think at the end of the day, it's gonna remove that imposter syndrome that I've kind of struggled with in a way, where it's like, if your friends are not in remote sales, then it's gonna be like, oh, like I'm living in some kind of a fantasy, and this is not stable, and this is not like legit. This can fall apart like every single day. But whereas we were at the meetup, it's literally just guys doing the same thing as you, and everyone is living their life. And normally, it's not like, oh, one thing falls apart. And even if it falls apart, let's say an offer falls apart, well, you jump back into the community and you're gonna have friends in there, right? People that you're connected with, and you're just gonna get on a new offer. And that's pretty much it. But at the end of the day, it's just you network with people. You don't do it in a sleazy way. You're just you have to be a genuine person, and you just help each other out. At the end of the day, the more people you help, the more help you get at the end of the day. And that's why it's just, in the beginning, that's why I was like linking up with sending messages, reaching out to everyone. Shout out to Fardid, one of the homies, OG homies.
Yeah, shout out.
So it was just, I met a ton of new friends, a ton of people, so that was a good thing.
Yeah.
And I think we might have to close it off, but
Well, yeah, they're back to me. So that's probably a good point to wrap it up too. Yeah, if you want to connect with Luka's new Twitter, go to the description.
Yeah,
He's
sure.
down to help you, and maybe you help him back one day.
Yeah.
And appreciate you coming out, man.
Sure.
It's a good dinner.
Yeah, for sure.
Good trip, hopefully. Hopefully you come back. You said end of year.
End of year, maybe New York, we'll see.
And we'll go from there.
Yeah.
All right. Peace.
Peace out.
All right, this camera on this phone is cracked, but here's a live one call close for you guys. Are you coming to Tampa or what?
I think we got it right.
This will be a movie because we're gonna do a few different things aside from the actual event. I just had to call and close you to get just make sure there's no spouse objection, no timing.
Yeah, dude, my wife, I don't know if she'd let me go. Yeah, fuck it, we'll go.
I have no idea what this is. Little hazelnut almond nougat. It's not English. And these cookies, we're about to find out. Actually, nothing is English on here. So that's pretty crazy. 8.5 out of 10. 7.5, maybe 8. Shout out to Luka, all the way from Croatia. Guy's crushing it. 22 years old, saving money, making money. Super cool. That wraps up this video. If you made it this far, I appreciate you watching. Hopefully a good perspective from Luka on his time in this space, being a college student, not from the US, being young, not having work history, and getting into this space. As you saw, I closed Tony, who is the video guy. He's my boy, but he's gonna start doing video for me, on coming to Tampa, and we have 4 high-level agency owners renting a sick place. We got Tony coming to document it. We're going to the Client Ascension event. So that might be the video that gets posted after this one. It might be 2 videos out, but you gotta stay tuned for that one. And if you are a sales rep, or you wanna be a sales rep and go remote, go do something in the description. There's probably some links. Been helping people do that for a while now. And then if you're a business owner and you don't wanna worry about sales for yourself, your company, but you still wanna scale it, hire my agency. We'll build you a sales team, we'll manage it, and help you make a lot of money. So thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next.